What is up, everybody? Ooh, yeah, I need to get rid of that. Leave that open, though. I do. I'm talking to myself. Yes, I am. It's the only way to have an intelligent conversation around here. Bet you haven't heard that one before. Yeah, yeah. All right. BJ says, another Star Trek-like command bridge in Star Wars. Which command bridge was that? Yeah, so we're here to talk about Ahsoka. We're going to see how it goes. I watched the first 2 episodes. They are pretty good, I gotta say. Master and Apprentice is the title of the first one, and Toil and Trouble is the name of the second one. And I enjoyed them. I really did. I'm wanting more, and that's a good thing. So, first New Republic cruiser in the first scene, more like a Klingon bridge. Well, that's just like the one in Return of the Jedi, though. So, is it? I don't think it's like Star Trek at all, really. But I will say, sure. Big chair looks down on other stations. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Klingon vibe there for sure. Chopper knows you've his tracking device. Chopper was kind of cool, I gotta say. There were definitely elements to this that I really enjoyed. Should I rewatch it? Probably, because I think I might have missed a few things, and I've seen it like twice now. Both episodes, but I don't know. This Ray guy, Ray Stevenson, as the bad Sith guy. I mean, he's dead. He died like after they were finished filming season 1. I don't know if he's going to be in season 2 or he's supposed to be. He's obviously not going to be, but maybe his character dies at the end of this season. I don't know. That's kind of sad, and watching it, knowing that was not great, I got to admit, but oh well. The first episode was dedicated to him for our friend Ray, so. Paul Hitchcock, you rock, Cap. Be back after the Republican Party debate, because I need my comedy. Okay. Terrence Childs, lightsaber fights scenes could be done a whole lot better. Yeah, I find Rosario Dawson's not that great with a lightsaber, which is a shame. I also, something about her attitude, she was like smartest one in the room. I never got that from Ahsoka. And to be fair, I have not watched all of Rebels. I have not watched all of Clone Wars, but I never got that kind of attitude from her, so I don't know how I feel about that necessarily. Yeah, I mean, it's probably right on for the character, but Terrence Child's lightsaber fight scene, I already read that one, and you're right, yes, her fighting is kind of lame. Actually, at the beginning of the first episode, that whole Jedi Temple thing, I felt like I've done that before, because I've played Vader Immortal, I've played Jedi Survivor, and you see those Jedi statues, you see those Jedi iconography all the time in those games, even in the little ball, the little map, just like balls in that you have to roll in the game to open doors and stuff. Same kind of thing. So I felt like I've been there before, and then fighting those droids with the sticks. Again, it's like I've done this a million times. So it had a very familiar feel to it for sure, which was nice. It was a nice touch, I think. But yeah, it felt very video gamey, if that makes sense. BJ says, so far Mando and Andor are better as art, but for Star Wars, Rebels, and Clone Wars fans, this is very enjoyable and interesting. Good action scenes. I feel like I really need to have watched Rebels to really enjoy this. Esri, whatever the guy's name is that's missing or supposedly dead. I know he's like a Jedi of some sort. I have a feeling he is the guy dressed in all black with the like knight helmet that fought Ahsoka. It definitely feels like that's where they're going with that, but I don't know. I did not watch Rebels, so I don't know exactly how that ended. But anyway, Lil King. I was a huge fan of Star Wars Rebels. This show is already shaping up to be awesome. Yeah, for sure. I just hope it doesn't stay there. Like, you need to open it up to the bigger Star Wars audience because not everybody's seen Rebels. Not everybody's seen Clone Wars. I'm included. I have been going through and watching Clone Wars. I'm not that far into it, but it's getting good. Like, there's still some episodes that just absolutely suck. But regardless, I have seen enough of Rebels and stuff to kind of piece together kind of what's going on, but I feel like the nuances are lost on me. And I was never a fan of Chopper from Rebels, but Chopper in this episode, in the second episode here, was fantastic. And I love his little attitude with his little arms. So that wins my vote for sure. But yeah, all of drab. I was pretty happy with this. Rebels is a favorite. Nice. Ozzy, you've rematched Rebels Season 4. Okay. Thank you, Ozzy. General Grievous, good evening, Captain. Everyone else. The lack of having an expert lightsaber choreographer that Lucas used in the prequels shows. His name is Nick Gillard. Yeah. Hopefully we will get better lightsaber battles, but Rosario Dawson just seems so slow with the movements. Yeah, I don't know what to feel about that. I noticed it too, but I thought I might have been noticing something that others might not have. But I guess it's a pretty obvious problem. So, Ozzy says, leader of Rebels, General Grievous here. Ezra Bridger, that's his name. Thank you, Ezra. What did I call him? Anyway. BJ says, I'm still working through Rebels, but I know what happens from art books and watching a lot of Star Wars YouTube videos. Yeah, same here. Same with me. I know basically the story. I've seen a lot of clips from the shows. I've seen a lot of shows discussing the show. So I kind of know what's going on. But I really feel like, almost like with the episode Those Old Scientists of Strange New Worlds, where Lower Decks shows up, we really appreciated it because we're huge fans of Lower Decks and we've seen all of Lower Decks. Whereas somebody that hasn't watched any of the animated Star Treks might be like, oh, this is interesting and all, but it's not really my thing. I don't really get the nuances of what's happening. This is what I feel like when I'm watching Ahsoka now. So I need to watch Rebels. And I'm sure right after this live, I'm going to go down. I'm going to watch a few episodes of Clone Wars. I can't watch too many in a row of that. But some of them I can watch back to back. Some of them are better told stories. But I think the last one I watched last night was they landed on this planet. They ejected with these escape ball things. It was Obi-Wan. It was Snips, and it was Anakin. And it was a farming planet that was being raided by pirates, and so they taught them how to be an army and how to fight for themselves. And it's the same trope that we've seen 1,000 times. It was even in The Mandalorian, the exact same thing. It just didn't do it for me. Some of the standalone episodes in Rebels are just kind of like, oh, Jesus Christ. So, or not Rebels, sorry, Clone Wars, I mean. So I don't know. It's one of those things, I want to watch them all regardless. I'm not going to skip over them. But there you go. John Grievous, but he's why the lightsaber duels were good. Indeed. BJ says, I'm in the middle of season 3 for Rebels. Nice. Lil King, Ryan is in the house. Rebels is far better than Clone Wars as a whole, in my opinion. I've heard that as well, and I was going to watch Rebels from the beginning when it first came out, and I watched like maybe 4 episodes, and then something shiny happened, and I got distracted and didn't finish watching it. So, yeah. What about Resistance? Is Resistance any good? Probably not. I've heard bad things about that, but I just don't feel up enough on my Star Wars lore to really necessarily discuss all this. I find it cool that David Tennant is back as the voice of the robot, whatever the hell the robot's name is. I don't know everybody's name yet. So I feel kind of out of the loop, which these hangouts will be good for because you guys can kind of talk about what you guys want to talk about and kind of get my thoughts on things that you noticed maybe. So Terrence Childs, there are lightsaber battles online that are excellent. These people really are excellent at their craft. Yes, there are some fantastic lightsaber battles out there for sure, and some really talented people wielding them. So, General Grievous, he took people with little to no experience and made them good. Well, that's what a teacher does. That's what a choreographer does. That's what they get paid to do. So, yeah. The Scottish Nightmare. I just want to know who is going to feed the cat. I said the exact same goddamn thing. But when Ahsoka went back to the residence, the cat was outside and the door was open. So I assume, and I said to Sylvia, I said the same thing. I said, who the hell is going to feed the cat? And she's like, I think it's a wild cat that just comes in and hangs out every once in a while, but I don't know. She doesn't know. She didn't ever watch Rebels either. So she's even like, what is that cat thing? What is it called? And I'm like, I don't know. If somebody told me, I'd probably be like, okay, I remember hearing that. But honestly, just off the top of my head, I don't know what the hell the cat is called. Either the name of the cat or the species. Mr. Silverpants 68. This Ahsoka seems so boring compared to Clone Wars. That's what I'm saying. Rosario Dawson just seems so flat and so like. Whereas Ahsoka in Clone Wars is like a thing, a force of nature. Loathe cats. That's it. Thank you. I don't know. There's something about her demeanor. She comes across as arrogant and cocky, and I'm sure she is. I mean, she left her training with Anakin, and I'm not sure why. I don't know if she noticed a change in Anakin, and that's why she decided to leave. Again, not quite up on the lore there, but she seems very snooty and very egotistical, I think is probably a good way to put it. But hey, what do I know? I don't know anything. That's right. Let's see. Joseph Meditz. I can just see that the Loathe Cat kitty will be the next big thing for Christmas. I don't think so. They're kind of ugly. They got like chicken feet. Sean says, just saw Ahsoka 1 and 2. Freaking loved it. Love how it tied into Clone Wars and Rebels. Just watched the last season of Clone Wars. It leads through episode 3. Yes, this I know. But is that the last episode of the second to last season? Because it ended there. And then the movie came out. And then like years later, not that long ago, they did the final season of Clone Wars. You're probably talking about the final season that would tie in better, probably. I don't know. Again, I know it came back. It was a big deal. There's another season of Clone Wars. Woohoo! And, but yeah. Yeah. Loathe cats have been missing. Mr. Anderson says, the farming episode of Clone Wars was basically the Seven Samurai Magnificent Seven. Absolutely it is. Yes. And I hated it. It was awful. The Scottish Nightmare. I want to know, where is Luke during all of this? It won't feel like a big deal if the boss man doesn't it won't feel like a big deal if the boss man doesn't show up. That's a good question. I'm expecting the Mandalorian to show up at some point. I don't think they should do this show without having the Mandalorian show up, but then it turns into a Mandalorian show. Mandalorian is the best goddamn Star Wars show out there, hands down. I've rewatched it a few times. I absolutely love the Mandalorian. Much better than Obi-Wan. Much better than Book of Boba Fett. Even though the Book of Boba Fett has a whole episode, the show gets hijacked by the Mandalorian. But considering how the Mandalorian and Ahsoka are kind of, they've crossed paths before, I can definitely see him showing up. I will be super pleased if and when he shows up. So, General Grievous, Resistance is hot garbage in my opinion. It was like Speed Racer meets Star Wars, but not as well done. It's great to have David Tennant, yes. Hello, Jason. All I'm drab, Resistance just lost me before long. So, note to self, don't watch Resistance. Gotcha. Scottish Nightmare. The cat was outside because the assassin droids were still inside. Cool. Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, who's going to feed the cat? That's still my question. And apparently other people's as well. Lucky Cantrell 13. Anyone know what time the Ahsoka series is supposed to take place? Before episode 4, like Rebels series, or after episode 6, like The Mandalorian? This happens after The Mandalorian. Because the lady that gets broken out of jail at the very beginning is the same lady that Ahsoka takes prisoner in Mandalorian. I'm not sure if it's season 2 or season 2. It'll be season 2. There was the episode with Michael Biehn in it as well. So yeah, it happens after that. So it is after The Mandalorian. Loathe cats are the best. Yes, Ryan. Yes. All of them drab. Loathe cats are like Tuca cats, but uncanny because mostly wild and there's forcey things going on in their on their planet. General Grievous, Rebels was good, but even Dave Filoni said he wasn't able to push the boundaries of the show because Disney put restrictions on what they allowed in the show to try to make it friendlier. Well, there you go. Goddamn Disney. Goddamn rules. Pussies, everyone. Just make a good show. Who gives a shit if somebody dies? Kids need to learn how to deal with death, so if you want family friendly, people can still die. Unless he was going to put like hardcore porn in it or something. Like, anyway, moving on. Olive Drab, smarter than the average kitty, possibly somewhat force sensitive. Nice. The Scottish Nightmare. I think that's intentional to show that she's matured and become more Jedi-like. They did the same thing to Luke, which is annoying. He should be different. It's not maturity, though. She just comes across as a snarky little... You know, she just comes across as... It's all snark. It's all like, I'm better than you. Which I hate. I hate that. BJ says, some Rebel fans feel a bit lost. It's been almost a decade in universe since the end of Rebels. The whole Sabine apprentice part is new. Hope for flashbacks on relationship with Ahsoka. You're going to have to get that if it's new. I figured it was in Rebels or something, and that's why I didn't know what the hell was going on with that. But if it's new to you guys who watch Rebels, then yes, give us flashbacks, 100%. The Scottish Nightmare. Who do you think the Masked Inquisitor is? Rumor has it it's Starkiller. Starkiller is interesting. I think it's Ezra Bridger, whatever the fuck his name is. I think it's Ezra. I do. Starkiller would be fantastic, though. I would love to see Starkiller make an appearance. Lil King. She has seen a lot. Lost so many people she loved. Feels responsible for abandoning Anakin and letting him fall from the dark side. She's been repeatedly disillusioned about the Jedi Order. Well, she needs to smarten the fuck up. I think Anakin was going to go dark side regardless of her, but Obi-Wan blames himself as well for the whole Darth Vader thing. Like, I don't know. The Jedi Order is kind of shit when you think about it. So, but I don't know. Moving on. J.L. Young, Gears of War and near prosecution contemporary person. Yeah, that's true. Sean, yeah, the final one felt more cinematic as you are someone who hasn't watched much of either animated series, I think it's much more appealing to you. Fair enough. Yeah, absolutely. I think they're casting a wide net in that regard. Like on Disney Plus, there is the episodes to watch to lead up to Ahsoka. Like there's certain Clone Wars episodes they pick, and then there's Mandalorian. There's some Rebels episodes. And there's also some Jedi Chronicles, something else in there that are recommended watches to kind of get a feel for what's going on. But at the same time, Dave Filoni said you don't need to watch those. You don't need to be aware of what's going on before to enjoy this. So it is what it is. General Grievous, Rosario Dawson, and Ashley Eckstein, the Ahsoka voice actor, are night and day in terms of personality types and energy. Eckstein brings more energy to the performance. Fair enough. Lil King, and she's only alive because she is living imbued with the life force of the embodiment of the light side of the Force. I think she's playing the character really well. She's changed a lot. Okay, if you think so. I mean, I know you're really good with your Star Wars lore, so I'll accept that. I still think she's a bit. All right. Sean says Resistance was unfortunately trash. Mr. Anderson, regarding Luke, Ahsoka seems to be set between Mandalorian Season 2 and 3. The Elsbeth character was captured in Season 2 of Mando. Luke might still be training Yoda. Well, Grogu. Yeah. There you go. Might be between the two. Who knows? I don't know if it's been revealed by Dave Filoni when it is. It sounds like no. So if you guys don't know, I'm glad that I feel better that I don't know. So I'm drab, or Resistance was actually just meant to be only a kids show when we're used to Star Wars being on multiple levels. That could be the case as well. Yeah. General Grievous, I don't know if it's a red herring or a coincidence, but the Inquisitor is named Merrick. I wonder if that's an Easter egg to Galen Merrick, who was Starkiller. Oh, yeah, man, if Starkiller shows up, I'd be super happy. I don't think it's going to happen, but yeah. BJ says it could happen during Mando Season 3, or at least part of it. Grogu will feed the cat. The Scottish Nightmares. So we now have 2 doctors in Star Wars, Tom Baker and now David Tennant. There you go. General Grievous, I wasn't a fan of the Sabine Jedi thing. That was totally new. She's kind of badass when you think about it then, because she's a Mandalorian and she's also a Jedi warrior. Not a fully trained Jedi warrior, I get that, but... Little King, this show is, I believe, set during the same timeline as Season 3 of The Mandalorian because of the filming of Morvan still being transported, like as if the scene Ahsoka caught her in Mando 2 is just happening. You kind of lost me on that one, but I'm sure it made sense. Sean says Ahsoka and Ezra are also the only 2 known people in Star Wars to have time traveled. Really? Okay. That's the other thing. When the map came up, and we said, this is our galaxy. And then, whew, here's another galaxy. Looks like a spiral galaxy. And then it points to one of the arms, and it's like, are they pointing at Earth? Are they looking for George Lucas? I think they're looking for George Lucas. Also, what the fuck? Isn't that like an ancient Jedi, like, trinket? Jedi MacGuffin? It's a fucking map. All right, cool. It's pointing to where Thrawn is? How the fuck does it know where Thrawn is? That's what I don't like. What? What? I'm lost in that regard. I'm sure you guys will explain it to me though. The Scottish Nightmare. That scene in episode 2 where Ahsoka sees Sabine in armor. That's the ending to Rebels. Really? Interesting. That's like when she's looking at the mural on the wall, which is just their animated characters, which I thought was kind of cool. Yeah, cool. All right. Sabine Wren received lightsaber training from Canon Jarrus and Ezra Bridger when she had the dark saber before she gave it to Bo-Katan. Okay. Terrence Childs. They should be able to make it a series of episodes called Obi-Wan Chronicles, a series of episodes about what Obi-Wan was doing when he was running from Vader. That'd be cool. I would like to see that. Mr. Silverpants 68 says, so at the end of the Ahsoka fight at the shipyard, why didn't that enemy ship just shoot Ahsoka when she was standing out in the open? Do they need her alive? Well, I love that the ship comes in and like, she just fucking keeps running right through the middle of the fucking smoke and the dust. It's like, well, you're fucking ballsy. And I know that she's a Jedi. I know they can kind of see things in slower motion or whatever the fuck it does. Like that's how they can deflect blaster bolts and shit, right? So, but I liked when she was standing there and all of a sudden it's like the boomerang lightsaber comes back and she just like sidesteps it. Like, nice touch. Yeah. The Scottish Nightmare. I like the Apprentice Girl. Gave me Hit Girl vibes. They should redeem her and be Luke's Padawan. Who is Hit Girl? Anyway, Eric Martin throws in $20. May the Force be with you. Thank you. I don't know if you want me to take a shot for that. I can. I can go get some like hard alcohol to do a shot, Eric. I can do shots for $20 if you guys want, but I'm drinking a beer. But thank you for the super chat, Eric. Much appreciated. First and only super chat this evening. Anyway, 34 people watching, 16 likes, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Little King, Ryan, I don't know. I think you did not hit the like button yet. Hit the like button. Let's try to get up to 30. We can do it. Lucky Cantrell 13. Have you seen more gut stabs or hand chops in Star Wars now? I still think limb chopping is the biggest thing in Star Wars. So there's that. Little King, if you watch all the Clone Wars, you'll see what I'm talking about. I think Ahsoka walking away from the Jedi Order after Anakin basically begged her to stay was a huge factor in Anakin becoming Vader. Really? Well, why'd she leave? What a bitch. What a bitch. Then she should blame herself for Anakin becoming Vader. Screw her. What the hell? Scottish Nightmare. Thrawn is stuck in the Milky Way on a prehistoric Earth. Mr. Anderson. 3 doctors. Christopher Lloyd was in Mandalorian. Doc Brown from Back to the Future. I think he meant like Doctor Who's though. BJ said, I hope to see Sabine in the Batman as the Batman Jedi. More skill than magical superpowers. The Force is in everyone, and Sabine Wren has done a lot of superhuman things and survived. Excuse me. Olam Drab, I guess someone's used the map devices to leave a message? Yeah, I don't fucking know. General Grievous, my biggest plot hole is Morgan Elsbeth being a Night Sister. No one in the New Republic knew she was a Night Sister, not even Ahsoka, and we've seen in the Clone Wars of the Fallen Order how powerful they are. The Scottish Nightmare. Star Wars love their random maps to characters, but never explaining them. So that's why she didn't break herself out of prison. All right, Little King. It's a mirrored shot to the end of Rebels, but it's not the same moment. It's them about to go out again years later, different clothes. See, Ryan should be on here with me talking about this shit because he's the expert on this shit. Ryan. Olam Drab. Well, she said her grandmother was a night sister or something like that, Grievous. Yeah, Grievous. Pay attention. What the hell? The Scottish Nightmare. Hit Girl is a character from the Kick-Ass movie. Oh, okay. Yeah. Little King. Hyperspace travel was invented observing the Purgle and their agility to travel through hyperspace. The Purgle took Thrawn. Okay, but why the fuck is the map pointing to... What? BJ throws in $1. Thank you so much. That is awesome. Scottish Nightmare. Gooey Gone. Or Qui-Gon is the only character to die from a lightsaber stab. Loser. Fucking Qui-Gon Jinn. He should have been Qui-Gon Rye, then he would be alright. Qui-Gon Bourbon. But Qui-Gon Jinn. I guess it makes him the panty remover. Okay. That's fine. BJ says, well, I gotta get some sleep. Enjoy your first take. Be back next week. Alright, see you later. So far, this has been a fun discussion. I'm learning a lot. Night Sister Magic is so badass. I'm glad to see it in live action. It's more evil than the dark side of the Force. And in lore, even Palpatine was afraid of the Night Sisters. Palpy? Palpy's afraid of nothing. General Grievous. But she said she was also a Night Sister. She said she was a survivor. Also, she used Night Sister magic to activate the map. She also wears the traditional red Night Sister robes. Okay. Little King. So I just have to follow the migration paths of the Purgle, much like the early traveling before tech developed. Cool. Why is Thrawn there, though? Eric Martin. Our lightsaber's running on watch batteries now. She gets run through and she survives? The fuck? Oh, excuse me. I forgot Peter Cushing, 4 doctors. Sean says, nah, apparently Qui-Gon was just like, I'm out. Apparently stab wounds in Star Wars are no biggie. Well, considering that lightsabers cauterize the wound, you don't have to worry about bleeding out. You just have to worry about a major organ being punctured, but it's cauterized. So, I like when the droid comes in and says, I've been told that your repairs are complete. It's like, not wrong, but wrong. Olam Drab says all these things could be true in one way or another. She could be the first revival of it or something, for all we know. It's true. And it may be true from a certain point of view. What? Mr. Anderson. Here's a theory about the map. Rebels had a world between worlds, which was a realm that allowed time travel. Maybe someone from the future had the orb and brought it to the past. Could work. That I would buy as a reason that it's a map that points to Thrawn. Maybe we find out, actually, maybe Ahsoka takes it back and puts it there. Like the future Ahsoka. And then leaves clues for her younger self, so the younger self can find it and time travel. Half flippin' Chris. Half Filipino Chris. Trump and Tucker Carlson interview was great. Don't care. Cool. Yay. Qui-Gon room. General Grievous, Force Ghost Anakin was probably laughing his ass off as Ahsoka's Padawan Sabine not listening to her and being stubborn. Yeah. Yeah. Bitch. The Scottish Nightmare. The beginning of the show was more Indiana Jones like than the recent movie. Oh, wow. That's harsh. Lil King, can't wait to see more of Night Sister stuff. They can do so much cool shit with that. War God 6, loved it. It's a Rebels sequel. Can't wait for more. Yeah. Sean says Luke was telling Grogu that he couldn't be a Mandalorian and a Jedi, yet Sabine is both. Well, she never became a Jedi. Ahsoka stepped out on her before the training was complete. So she's not really a Jedi. She just has Jedi powers. And some training. Little King says, where Sabine got stabbed, her only vital organ that it looked like was she was hit in the lung. I thought her continuing to fight and not dying was just Mando shit. War God 6, the other galaxy is the Milky Way. Laughing my ass off. Perfect. They're coming to Earth. General Grievous, Sabine looked like she was stabbed in the lower lung, but Qui-Gon is probably sick and tired of all these plebes getting stabbed through and surviving. War God 6, no one wants real life politics. We come here for the escape. Yeah. Eric Martin, the Rebel Alliance won the war, but is losing the peace. Just finished part 2. Freaking awesome, says Tim Rose. Fair point. Okay, Sean, who are you saying fair point to and what about? Because I hate when there's a comment like that and I'm like, are you talking to someone in the chat? Did it something so I said? Let me know. Just 1 second. Hold on. There are weird things afoot at the neighbor's place. But it's fine. Poor Qui-Gon. Oh. Lucky Cantro. Do you think Freddie Prinze Jr. will make an appearance in Ahsoka? No. Why? General Grievous, they took shortcuts instead of starting fresh with people who weren't a fifth column for the Empire remnant. They went the cheap way and paid the price for their lack of vision. You will pay the price for your lack of vision. General Grievous. I just read that one. My brain is not working. I need a haircut. Look at this shit. Sean says, my apologies, was saying fair point to your comment about Ahsoka training Sabine. Ah, yes, about being a Mandalorian and a Jedi. Well, thank you. I'm glad I made a fair point. Little King. Wiggly Bee. Do you still have some? Are you out? Let me know. Because I'm not on my last one. I still got one more to go. But I'm just saying, I should probably pick some up while you have them. Because if not, I'm not going to get any. Because your supply chain sucks. Anyway, Mr. Anderson says, one nagging issue I have with Sabine, formerly Ezra's lightsaber, it was a standard saber hilt. Ezra's was a combined blaster and saber. Cool. Did not know that. Eric Martin retracted a message before I could read it. What an asshole. Paul Hitchcock. Freddie Prinze Jr. said he was done with Star Wars on Christian Harloff's show a while ago. The fuck did... Who did Freddie Prinze Jr. play on Star Wars? What are we talking about? I'm so lost right now. Eric Martin says, message retracted. Mr. Anderson. I love that name. For reference, Freddie Prinze Jr. was the voice of Kanan Jarrus in Rebels. Ah. No idea who that is. Cool. Little King says, we got somebody. I'll put 2 aside for you as soon as I open the shop tomorrow. Goddamn right you will. Still haven't had that campfire, by the way, Ryan. Jay hasn't messaged me back. Well, he's messaged me. He just hasn't confirmed when he is going to come back for that. So I'll keep you apprised of the situation. Eric Martin, I have Doritos fingers and can't type, so I'll listen. I also bought Doritos this evening. I have not yet partaken in them. I will do so after this live. Doritos await. 'Tis the season. I don't know what the fuck that means. Not the season. Anyway. Sean says, not his second lightsaber. Second one didn't have a blaster built in. General Grievous, that was his first lightsaber. That was the blaster saber combo before Redacted destroyed it. You don't need to redact things. Come on now. War God 6. Ezra's first saber was blaster combo. His second saber was a standard hilt. I like the blaster combo. Sounds like a fun thing. In Jedi Survivor, the game, you have the option of having a blaster and a lightsaber. We never really used the blaster, though. Not the same unit, though. It's not like the blaster built into the hilt kind of thing. Kanan was Hera's husband and Sabine's first lightsaber instructor before Ahsoka and Ezri's Jedi Master. Why is this bitch going to be taught how to wield a lightsaber before she was a Padawan? That confuses me. Isn't the lightsaber the weapon of the Jedi? Not as clumsy or random as a blaster. More elegant weapon for a more peaceful age. Mr. Anderson says, right. Been a while since I saw Rebels. I just loved his blaster saber combo. Sounds like a fun weapon. Madman 22 just finished the first 2 episodes, and man, wooden acting all around. I don't know if I'd say all around. I can see why you're saying that. And like I said, Rosario Dawson's delivery is a little bit lame to me. But I see what you're saying. I feel what I'm picking up what you're putting down, as they say. The Scottish Nightmare. The Republican commander should know there is only one Jedi. Should have blown them up before they landed. Well, he didn't expect them to be Sith. He just suspected them to be Imperial outliers, I think. Eric Martin. While she was riding her speeder, they should have played Bad Girls, What You Gonna Do? Bad Girls, What You Gonna Do? Is it just me, or did they replace her speeder? Because wasn't there early footage of her, like, riding the speeder and, like, her ass was right there? And everybody commented on her ass. Did Disney change it so that the speeder was different, or is that speeder scene that I'm thinking of going to be later in the series, in the season? Because I remember everybody focused on her ass, which I'm just saying. I'm legitimately asking a question. When I saw that scene and I saw the high back on that speeder, I'm like, those fuckers changed this. Unless it's a different scene. Let me know. You guys probably know more than I do in that regard. Olam Drab, it seems you've been living two lives, Mr. Underhill. The Scottish Nightmare, the blaster combo looked like a staple gun, though. Oh, okay, I remember. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. War of God 6, Star Wars Jedi Knight games. I mostly use the saber myself. Only use blaster when it's required. Olam Drab, she was being taught to wield the dark saber because Mando. Gotcha. Because she had the dark saber. Gotcha. General Grievous. Yeah, that Republic captain was a dumbass letting those randos who claimed to be powerful Force users using the old Republic Jedi code when Luke and Ahsoka were the only ones known. Mr. Anderson says Sabine received saber training because of the dark saber in lore. The dark saber was created by the first Mandalorian ever to become a Jedi. This I did know. I did know that. Yes, that's because I knew that because of the Mandalorian. But yes. Madman 22. Somebody is going to make that edit soon. Which edit? Scottish Nightmare. Ahsoka doesn't think of herself as a Jedi, hence only Luke. Lucky Cantrell 13. There were a lot of good ass shots in these episodes. I'm sure there were, but I just remember that one speeder thing in particular. Olam Drab, I think they clipped the scene down a bit compared to the trailer. Also, a very nice bum. Bum. Madman 22. That or Sabotage by Beastie Boys. Play Sabotage. Yeah. Sean says she still had the ass shot when she went under the fighter. Did she? I'll have to go back and watch that. Disney might have changed it. Disney redid all of season 7 of the Clone Wars after they brought Star Wars from Lucasfilms. One change was removing the Padme pinup art from the Bad Batch shuttle. Oh, why? I remember hearing about that, and I Googled it. I Googled the Padme pinup art. Oh, yeah. Fucking Disney. The fuck? Eric Martin, does this saber make my ass look big? Yes, it does, Eric. You are indeed a big ass. Yeah, give me a break. I can use this if I want to use it. You got a problem with it? Want to fight? Big whoop. Want to fight about it? So, yeah, I feel like I really need to watch Rebels. I think I'll get more out of Ahsoka, having watched Rebels. I'm not going to be able to watch it all maybe before the next episode. I don't know. I don't want to skip ahead to Rebels and miss Clone Wars, and I'm only at the end of season 2 of Clone Wars, so it's not like I'm far into it or anything. So I don't know. Thoughts? Should I just watch Rebels instead? Let me know what you guys think, because it's not that I feel lost. Like they're laying it out pretty good. I just feel like I said, with that Lower Decks crossover episode with Strange New Worlds, it's like, we really appreciate this, and I'm sure the Rebels fans are just like jumping for joy seeing their heroes in live action. So she looks better with longer hair. Totally agree. And I don't think you can like gather all your hair in one slice, cut it off. I don't think that's how that works. Such a trope in TV shows and movies. But oh well. General Grievous says, but I gotta say, I do like the Sabine actress. That was good casting. She nails the rebellious nature of Sabine. Indeed. Sean says, so favorite scene from the episode, Captain? From which episode? First one or second one? Favorite scene. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. And I have to rewatch it because nothing's instantly popping in my head, which is probably a bad thing or a good thing. It's a bad thing if there was nothing really good scene wise. It's also the good thing if there was so many good ones that I just didn't think I can't differentiate and pick one. Um, I honestly don't know what to say in that regard. Yeah, I got nothing. Sorry. The Scottish Nightmare. Just watch the ones with Maul. They're the only good ones. Okay. Eric Martin. I don't always vape, but when I do, I always vape with. You want me to fill in the blank? I always vape with my mouth. Sean, last season of Clone Wars and last 2 seasons of Rebels if you're speed running watching it. So last season of Clone Wars and the last 2 seasons of Rebels. Okay. Sean says they were mirroring a scene where Kanan cut his hair in Rebels. Still an overused trope. Yeah, there's a lot of cleanup and tidying up that you need to do to have that hair look good. If you just gather it like that and cut it, that doesn't work. Madman 22. The Sabine actor was the last. The Sabine actor was the last constipated, or was the least constipated of the bunch, and maybe that was the whole point. Oh, okay, gotcha. The Scottish Nightmare. Are you aware of the Thrawn trilogy? This is apparently very loosely based on that. I'm aware of it. I probably have the novels. I just never read them. But, sure. Eric Martin. I like the scene where the captain confronts the Imperial trash and gets a saber through the chest. But I'm sure he'll be fine. Indeed. Indeed. So does anyone know what happened to Ray Stevenson? I think his name. He died at 53, 4 days before his birthday. But there's no cause of death for the actor. Generally, that means that he might have committed suicide and they just aren't sure yet. But do you think his character's going to carry on to another season of Ahsoka if they do that? Think he gets killed at the end of this season? His character? Because that would really suck if they had plans for the character and then he died. That would suck. I'm sure they can fix it. I mean, everything like that is fixable, but I just want to know if anybody's heard anything as to what happened to him. He was only 53, for Christ's sakes, which is kind of scary. Sean says Stargate got better when they left the Milky Way. Hopefully Star Wars does the same when they expand to new galaxies in Ahsoka. General Grievous, Sabine cutting her hair off with a blade is a nod to samurais cutting their top knot of their hair to signify a change in their life or status. Mandalorians are very ritualistic, so it tracks. I didn't say it didn't track. It's always bothered me. People always like, or they grab their hair and they cut with a knife and 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 cut with a knife. And then next time you see them, they got a perfectly fucking stylized hairstyle. It's like, the fuck? Fuck off. Let's get realistic. That would look like absolute ass. It would be all different lengths and look like absolute shit. But no, the movie trope is the movie trope. So we got to go with it. Eric Martin, my favorite character so far is the Sith Lord with the big beard. He really has presence on screen compared to the others. Yes, and he's dead now. That's the guy I was talking about, Ray Stevenson, I believe is his name. He passed away after filming of this season. So hopefully his character dies at the end of this season. I'm not saying that in a cruel way, like I hope he dies. But as for the character, I mean, if the character is supposed to be a part of season 2, if they do a season 2, it sucks that the actor's dead. Like, they'll have to rework things. And I'm sure that's definitely possible, but Yeah, I like him too. He's got a lot of screen presence. He looks like an evil Santa Claus. Uh, and it's just a shame. Like, dying at 53, what the hell? Sean says they might be able to make it that his Padawan kills him off screen between seasons if they are forced into that bind. Yeah, something like that would make a lot of sense. Yeah. Mr. Anderson says, quick Google search, unknown accuracy. Ray Stevenson died of a heart attack caused by a severe anaphylactic shock. Ooh. I couldn't find that information, so thank you. That's sad. That's really sad. The Scottish Nightmare. He isn't Sith, just a dark Jedi. What's the difference? I like how they're like, there's the Jedi and the Sith, and then there's like, but there's gray Jedi, and there's light pink Jedi, and then there's like fucking red wine red Jedi. Sean says, as far as final roles go, Ray Stevenson's Balin is a good role to go out on. Solid acting and screen presence. Oh, yeah, 100%. He did a great job. General Grievous, before his death, several Italian newspapers said that he was hospitalized due to declining health and other ailments, and official cause of death is heart attack caused by severe anaphylactic shock. Oof, that's rough, man. All drab. These guys really Sith or just like Dark Jedi. They don't read much like Sith, and they got a Padawan with a braid and all. I didn't know Dark Jedi were a thing. Continuum Meditations. Italian sources state Stevenson died of a heart attack. Well, there we go. Paul Hitchcock says maybe the difference is that Sith have message retracted. Olam Drab, presumably Jedi can go to the dark side without joining the Sith Order. Mr. Anderson, Dark Jedi versus regular Jedi is somewhat similar to good versus chaotic good. I'd call him more of a normal Sith, with Vader and Palpy being a dark Sith. Too many distinctions. The Scottish Nightmare. The Sith is a religious group. You have to follow Sith teachings to become one. He's just one Jedi that has fallen to the dark side. The orange sabers could symbolize that. Always two there are. Anyway, technically, Dark Jedi aren't a canon thing, but Balin definitely isn't. Sith, Vader, or Palpatine would have started off killing everyone on the ship. First, he asked them to give him the prisoner. I like that distinction. That's a good thing to point out. Continuum Meditations. How many episodes did he film before passing? They completed the whole season. So they had wrapped filming. So General Grievous. Also, he hesitated about killing Ahsoka, something Sith wouldn't do. Paul Hitchcock. Maybe the difference is that the Sith have destroying Jedi. The Sith have destroying Jedi as a core tenet, whereas Dark Jedi may be more concerned with just acquiring power. Well, there you go. I want to be a Dark Jedi then. I think that's my jam. Because I'd be tempted by the dark side of the Force. Yeah. All right. I'm enjoying it so far. Each episode left me wanting more, and I'm glad there was 2 episodes released. But I really hope it keeps up the pace, and I really hope it keeps up the the awesomeness. Because as Samuel pointed out on our live earlier this evening, he said the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan were really good too, and then it kind of went downhill. So here's hoping that this one doesn't do that. I'm excited to see the rest of it. Has it confirmed how many episodes there are? Is there 6? Is there 8? Is there 10? Let me know how many episodes there are. And each Wednesday, oh my God, keep burping. Each Wednesday, I will be here to talk to you guys about first reactions and just talking about what's happening and what's going on in the show. So be sure to join me for those, will you? Goddamn right you will. I'm just having fun now. I apologize, guys. The dark side has cookies. Yes, these cookies is good. Eric Martin, you can't be a dark Jedi until you get a haircut. Oh man. We'll go tomorrow. Semantic discussion. We are all lore nerds here. Yes. Going to be 8 episodes. Okay, thank you, Sean. Very good to know. General Grievous, I'm enjoying it more than Mando Season 3 or Andor for so far. Wow. What the fuck, dude? I thought Mando Season 3 was fun. Probably not the best season of Mandalorian, but fun. And Andor, yeah, it took me a few episodes to get rolling, in my opinion, but Andor was fucking great. I really enjoyed Andor. The Scottish Nightmare, he's teaching the girl like a Jedi Padawan. She even has the braid. Oh, Paul said 8 episodes first. So, screw you, Sean. I'm just kidding. Thank you to everybody for the 8 episode information. Mr. Anderson, Anakin could convincingly have been a dark Jedi. Anakin could have conceivably been a dark Jedi until he went full dark side and started killing younglings. I mean, he did kill a bunch of women and children, Tusken Raiders, in episode 2. I hate them. I killed them all. Not just the men, but the women and the children. I hate them. And I don't like sand. I wish I could kill all the sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating. And it gets everywhere. It even got in their wounds. I kicked sand in their eyes and in their wounds. The ones that survived. I even brought some salt to mix in with the sand. Oh, sorry, I'm getting off base. I apologize. Yo, I'll join you in person for the next week one if you want. We will see, sir. We will see. Paul Hitchcock. Apologies if already said, but I liked that Ahsoka pointed out that the former Imperials were not loyal to the Empire. They just after money. Yeah, it's not loyalty, it's greed. Eric Martin, I like how Padawan has silver hair to match his beard. She's a female mini-me. And I shall call her Mini-Me. Sean says, I enjoy it more than Mando Season 2 and 3 and Andor. But only because I'm a huge Clone Wars fan and a passable Rebels fan. Without that prior knowledge, I might not like it as much, though solid acting. For me, it's up there. It's just under Mandalorian. Probably on the same scale as Andor for me at this point. We'll see how that goes. But I'm enjoying it so far. And I really love that they released 2 episodes. That was kind of fun. So, yeah. We got another 6 weeks to go, I guess, considering that there's 8 episodes, which is cool. It's going to overlap with the new season of Star Trek Lower Decks. So I'll be doing Wednesday night and Thursday night first reaction videos. But that's all right. That's the way of the warrior. The way of the YouTube warrior. Eric Martin says, easy, Cap. That was some of Hayden's best acting there. Earth says, late again. Sorry, Cap. You should be sorry. Paul Hitchcock, have you already talked about the music? I really love the end theme. Have not talked about the music. No, music was good. It had hints of Mandalorian-esque things in it. Definitely a cello going on. Yeah, the music was pretty phenomenal. So, thumbs up for the music. There you go. Scottish Nightmare. Andor was good, but it didn't really feel like Star Wars to me. No, it felt like a World War II story. So, hello, Urs. Good evening to you as well. Mr. Anderson says the 2-episode premiere and the standard opening crawl of text plus starship zooming by made it feel very cinematic. I felt, yeah, the opening text was interesting. It didn't have the punch of like Star Wars with the music and stuff. It was just like a lot of people complained that these shows don't have text or scrawls or whatever. Whatever. I thought it was good, but at the same time, I'm like halfway through the second paragraph, and I'm like, let's just fucking go. I don't want to read. And it's not as exciting as the Star Wars crawl, which was a crawl and it came in and it was powerful, bombastic music. This was just like, here you go, some red lettering. Enjoy that. Alrighty then. We're going to let you read a novel before you start the show. Glad it was only the first episode as well, and not every episode. But it's funny, when I saw it come up on screen, since I've been watching Clone Wars, all I could think of is that we need the narrator from Clone Wars. Oh my god. Anakin Skywalker. Da, 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 da. It's like, whoa, calm down there, buddy. That narrator at the beginning, given the on Clone Wars, was something else. We need him for Ahsoka, I gotta say. General Grievous says, friendly reminder to hit that like button, folks. That's him asking nicely. You do not want him to ask any other way. So hit that like button. Urs says, was in the fields, rolling winter rye. Indeed. Hard day's work, good sir. Eric Martin, Ahsoka is going to be an expensive and complicated Halloween costume this year. Expensive and they'll have them available. They'll have the headdress or the headpiece things. Don't you worry, Eric. You can dress up as your favorite Jedi, Ahsoka, for Halloween this year. I want you to come trick-or-treating at my house if you do that, though, because that'd be awesome. I'll have my lightsabers ready. We can have a battle on the front yard or in the street. That'd be fun. Sean says, normally music that doesn't have cues to John Williams puts me out of the Star Wars shows, but the music in this was solid, immersive, and suited it just fine, despite not having much of the Williams theme. The Scottish Nightmare. I don't get why they needed Sabine to open up the orb when all you needed to do was turn it. Ahsoka was doing something similar in the temple. Well, there's like right prior to her doing that, she's looking at the holographic production of the room with like the 3 figures, and she's like, three figures, 3 faces. And I think she realized that there was like 3 segments on the ball that turned, and I think she's turned the first one 3 times, the second one twice, and the last one 1, which activated the thing. So take that for what it's worth. Urs says, good thing they didn't tell the whole story in the paragraph. LOL. Right? Clone Wars narrator passed away after filming the intro to the Bad Batch cartoon series episode. Oh no, I didn't know that. Now I'm sad. I'm going to go watch Clone Wars right after this. And I'm going to be like, oh, he dead now. Well, that sucks. General Grievous. Sadly, the narrator voice actor Tom Kane is retired from voice acting after suffering a massive stroke that affected his ability to speak. He also voiced Admiral Yaren and Yoda in the Clone Wars show. What? So So is he dead? Or did he suffer from a stroke and is just like retired? I'm so confused right now. Or both. Maybe both happened. Oh, he's still alive. Okay. Phew. Eric Martin, I'd like to be bad dark Jedi Santa for Halloween. A beard and a black robe with big pockets for Kendi. Kendi. Sean says, I feel bad for getting that wrong. Oh, that's okay. I feel better that he's not dead, so you like shattered my hopes, and it's like, no, it's all right. We have the pieces. We can fix it. He's alive. Anyway, the robes and headdresses of the figure in the room where Ahsoka found the orb reminded me of the Jedi Temple Guard outfits. Yeah, like I said, I've played enough Star Wars games now with like Vader Immortal and Jedi Survivor. You see a lot of Jedi temples and stuff. I felt like that was just the whole beginning thing. Just felt like a video game. From turning the things to activate the thing to fighting the droids up top. It felt very video gamey, but I loved it. It's like this all feels so familiar. It was that nice familiar feeling, which I thought was great. So, ha. The 3 thing had me thinking of the father, son, daughter thing from Clone Wars. Son was dark side, daughter was light side, and father was the balance. Don Don Power Ranger is here, and he says hello to everyone. Hello, Don Don Power Ranger. Ooh, Don Don Power Ranger, you mighty morphin Power Ranger. Sorry. My apologies. The Scottish Nightmare. There is an AI-generated version of the narrator voice. Ryan's edits uses it to narrate DS9 Dominion War episodes. Cool. Paul Hitchcock. Definitely echoes of Mortis in that sanctum. Eric Martin. Maybe it's me, but if someone showed up in the old Imperial shuttle claiming to be a Jedi, I'd be a bit suspicious. As was the captain. He should have just blown them out of the sky. That makes them video games canon. It does. All of them drab. They had that old style long before the Empire. That's true. That's true. Anyway. So no, I'm excited to see more. It left me wanting more, which was good. It's a good sign. I think it moved along rather briskly. I like the characters. I have no real complaints yet about the series. So I hope, well, I say that, but I don't think Rosario Dawson does a good job with Ahsoka, even though Little King thinks she's great for Ahsoka. I don't see snips in her, unfortunately. And I know people grow up. I know people get jaded. I know people shove sticks up their asses. Sometimes voluntarily, sometimes not so much. And from what you were saying, Little King, it sounds like maybe not so much for her. She's just kind of disillusioned. But she comes across as not disillusioned so much as just like introverted, arrogant, egotistical, bitchy. Not really bitchy. She's too calm to be bitchy. But there are moments where she's standing as Ahsoka, where I think Rosario Dawson does have the same kind of majesty and feel of Ahsoka from Clone Wars. So, and I get it. It's a progression. It's a kid growing up. Her name was Snips because she was snippy. So, but she learned a lot, changed a lot. I get it. I get it. Don't yell at me. But it's something about Rosario Dawson. It's just, the Mortis arc in Clone Wars was sublime. though the daughter putting her spirit into Ahsoka might be a bit too mystic for fans of Ahsoka who didn't see the Clone Wars. You know what? Did I say? You know what I say to the people who haven't seen the Clone Wars and Rebels? Fuck them. Fuck them. Make the show you want to make. If the people that haven't watched that get confused and tune out because of it, fuck them. You shouldn't have to be relying on watching everything that came before. I mean, I'm going to go back and watch it because I'm interested, and I've been meaning to watch this stuff for a long time. Now I just have more incentive to do so. But don't pigeonhole yourself into doing shit that you don't think people will understand. That's one of the biggest gripes I have with Star Trek, is the producers think we're all fucking stupid. Well, there can't be another Galaxy class in this battle because everyone will get confused and think it's the Enterprise. No, we're not entirely stupid. We understand that there are other ships. Well, we can't have a refit Enterprise appear because people will think it's the Enterprise. But this is the next generation. Yes, but the general public will be like, why is the other Enterprise there? It's like, no. I mean, 5% of the people watching might be that stupid. But I just hate when producers and showrunners assume their audience is stupid and make content and stupid decisions to try to negate that, and it just ruins what they're doing. That's a tangent, but that's okay. Did anyone mention that Captain Hale from the beginning was played by Mark Ralston, who played Drake in Aliens? I knew I recognized him. So now we have 2 Alien alum in the Mandoverse Star Wars saga. Nice. Jeff Sturm is here. What did I miss so far? I just finished watching episodes 1 and 2. Missed everything. Absolutely everything. We've talked about everything. The Scottish Nightmare, she was like that in Boba Fett, the way she disrespected boss man Luke. No one's yelling, but I feel like you are. Mr. Anderson says, I was thinking in episode 1 that we had 2 ties from this film, Shawshank Redemption. Clancy Brown, the governor of Lothar, was the prison guard, and Mark Ralston was one of the inmates. Oh, yeah. Clancy Brown, I was like, I was watching with Sylvia, I'm like, that's the Kurgan. That's the Kurgan from Highlander. It's better to fade out than it's better to burn out than fade away. It's like, wow. Yeah, Kurgan. Different character altogether. Paul Hitchcock, Seth way, hold on too tight and be crazy possessive. Jedi way, walk away at the earliest opportunity and tell yourself you're doing the right thing. Jeff Sturm says they might type frantically, but definitely not yelling. Sean says Rosario's acting is a bit dry. We all think it. I'm surprised Filoni is directing her to act this reserved. Jeff Sturm, it's a fleet. A fleet is a group of ships. I'm aware. But I see what you're saying. Eric Martin, I loved the I'm a general, unclassify it scene. Yeah. Sean says, spoiler alert, Captain, so don't read if you wish, but Ahsoka fought Vader, Anakin, and Rebels, and the experience changes her. I've seen that entire thing. I've already seen that entire fight. It's not a spoiler. I don't give a shit. Spoilers don't bother me. I don't know why people get so fucking uppity about spoilers. I don't mind spoilers. Even though something's spoiled, you still gotta get there. You gotta find the narrative and follow the narrative where it goes and see how that happened. Sometimes it's nice to be surprised, for sure, but I've already watched that entire fight. Yes. Mr. Anderson, 100% Stuart, if you're a fan and not seen Clone Wars Rebels, you shouldn't complain that Ahsoka ties into Clone Wars and Rebels. Go watch them. Carrots. Sean says, I get what you mean, Captain, about that. My apologies. Once again, writing, assuming a stupid audience is poor form. And don't apologize, Sean. Do not apologize. It's one of the things that irks me about a lot of the decisions made in Star Trek. Or either the audience is stupid. Well, this is actually the same thing. The audience is stupid, or don't worry, no one will know, or no one will notice. That was said many times on Star Trek, to the point where they used a Katinga D7 in Enterprise way too early to be a D4, to represent a D4. Just use the Katinga model. No one will notice, is literally what the producer said. John Eves overheard this. I had a whole conversation with John Eves about this. When producers say shit like, just use that asset, no one will notice. That producer should not be working on a Star Trek production. You know why? Because Star Trek fans fucking notice everything. Everything. So do Star Wars fans. So the assumption that your audience is stupid and that they're not going to notice, that producer should be fired on the spot. Because they're fucking stupid. So Neil Hammersmith just got here. What food we talking about tonight? Nothing so far. The Scottish Nightmare, I was thinking it was Lex Luthor. General Grievous. So Mark Ralston got a chest burster lightsaber death. J.L. Young, one big happy fleet. Neil Hammersmith, Star Wars would be best served by using Highlander rules. If you chop your opponent's head off, you get their force powers. That would be fucking cool. Don Power Ranger says, although I find the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka to be pretty decent, the score and theme music by Kevin Kinner is among the things I love best about the new Star Wars show. We already talked about the music a bit, Don, but thank you. The Scottish Nightmare, Ewan McGregor's wife is playing Hera. Indeed. Jeff Sturm, what do you think of the first 2 episodes? To General Grievous, okay. I like spoilers. Makes one want to watch it even more. Yes, the anticipation. No worries, we are all one big happy fleet. Yes. Olam Drap, have you met Star Trek fans? That's exactly what I would say if I was in one of those meetings and the producer's like, no one will notice. Like, the fuck you just say? Yeah. Yep, agreed. They should be fired. Eric Martin, I still like the Mando theme. It was so well done. Mando theme's fucking great. I do love the Mandalorian music, yeah. I don't know about fired, but some kinds of decisions should be made. They should not be making. No, they should be fucking fired. Anyone that says anything like that when they're in a production like Star Wars or Star Trek should be fired. Because you're a fucking moron and you're not in touch with the fan base. If you're saying shit like, don't worry, no one will notice, you should be fucking fired. You shouldn't be anywhere near Hollywood because you're an idiot. Anyway. Sean says Doritos. We're talking about Doritos. Bring back fiery habanero or blaze, please. We already did talk about Doritos earlier. I do have Doritos that I'm eating after this live. So, yes. Eric Martin says, I agree that other than the general, the woman characters seem to be directed to be a bit flat in their demeanor for some reason. The Scottish Nightmare says, fired, out of a cannon, into the sun. Spelled cannon wrong. And usually, when I tell people they spelled cannon wrong, it's because they spelled it with 2 N's. You, in fact, spelled it with 1 N, which is the wrong kind of cannon to be fired out of. That would be 2 N's. Sorry. Paul Hitchcock, have you ever read Harve Bennett's Return to Genesis, treatment for what eventually became Star Trek 3? I've heard it's pretty good. I have not read that, Paul, no. Jeff Sturm, if no one noticed, then how could there be a question? Someone would have noticed if it was questioned. Yeah. I mean, I hate to fucking break franchises here, but to go back to Star Trek for a minute, that scene that I told you about in Enterprise that had a D4 an earlier Klingon design, not the D7 from TOS, no, a D4, an earlier design, to which they said, just use the Katinga model. No one will notice. Funny story about that, though. They didn't have the money to make a D4 model. So you know what one of the modelers did on his weekend, not being paid, he made a D4, which was ready to go for the scene, ready to go for the render of that scene. It was a free D4 that was made by one of the modelers on staff. He made it on his own time. It was great. Not fucking used. You know why? Because the producer said no. Just use the Katinga. No one will notice. Now, whether these two had a personal beef and the producer was just being an asshole, I don't know. I don't know that story. But I do know that that's the story. We don't have the money to make a D4. We'll just use the Katinga. The guy's like, okay, well, I'll just whip one up over the weekend on my free time, have a D4 ready to go Monday morning so that we can render that scene with an actual ship that's era appropriate. Brings it in on Monday, got the ship ready to go, here's the D4, and the producer's like, no, just use that other one. No one will notice. That's a real goddamn conversation that happened. You can't make that shit up. And the D4 looked great. The D4 was a cool design. It looked era appropriate. It was not a Katinga. And yeah, so anyway, tangent. Fired over cannon works. All hail Kaon. You remembered Kaon, did you? Bastard. Kaon sounds like a city on Cybertron. Just saying. Sean says, Star Wars has its share of directors who say similar things. What is it with modern productions just shitting on fan bases? Is it a king? I'm not familiar with it. It must be, yes. General Grievous, I actually liked them a lot. I think they were potentially to be the best live action TV series if they play their cards right. I agree with you on that. Willem Drab says, now that's how we do it. Okay, fire the guy. Paul Hitchcock, really nerdy question. I've always thought that the Daedalus class was undersized for what it was designed to do and its role in canon. Thoughts? According to the original lore, like there's a book called Federation or Starfleet Year 1, where there's like 12 of these Daedalus class ships. They're like the premier ship. And there's these captains jockeying for position to captain these things. At that time, they would be like, they seem small now, but at the time, those were the big boys. Those are the ships you wanted, the explorers. Then Enterprise comes along, makes the NX-01, and makes the fucking Daedalus basically pathetic. So yes, then it appears undersized and not. Limited resources. I don't know what to tell you. I think that the size is correct for the era. That's fine, like a smaller ship as opposed to a more larger, more luxurious ship. I don't think there's a problem with them. It could use an appearance from certain cybernetic general though to move it to a tier, to S tier. Corbin says, hey, officially resize the Daedalus for that reason, Paul. They officially resized the Daedalus, yeah. Paul Hitchcock, Eagle Moss was working on a model of the D4. They might have actually made some and might get put up for sale by Master Replicas. Yes, because it existed. Because somebody fucking made it on their free time. The Scottish Nightmare. You can get the D4 model from Eagle Moss. I've got one. Perfect. General Grievous, 10 out of 10 people totally not threatened by premature death to my lightsaber. Agree with me. Jeff Sturm, yes, this is true. Your lightsabers were not present. All right, guys. I'm going to call it quits there. I know it's not at the 2-hour mark, but I just feel like I need to call it quits. So thank you to everybody that watched. I really appreciate you guys. Check out next Wednesday. So like, next Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be my first reaction to the next episode of Ahsoka. Chat about it. Hang out with you guys. I'll learn a few things. And it'll be fun. And then once September 7th rolls around, we'll have Lower Decks on Thursdays. So it'll be Ahsoka on Wednesdays, Lower Decks on Thursdays. Just like the old days. Any news on the Tommy Enterprise? Kind of cool that the company also owns a foreign toy company. Any word? Yeah. They've gone into full production now. A lot of people aren't happy with the screw covers and the seam lines. And trust me, I know Gary Kerr, one of the supervisors that was making sure the ship was right. And yeah, unfortunately, some decisions were made at Tomy that shouldn't have been made. And now everybody's not happy. So that's a whole other fucking topic to talk about at another time. Enjoy the Doritos. Thank you, Paul. I will. Thanks, Cap. Like and subscribe. Everyone's super thanks are always appreciated, but not required. Exactly. I only had like 2 super chats today, and that is awesome. It's fine. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Have yourselves a great night, and go check out Ahsoka if you haven't already, and if you haven't already, why are you watching this? And I know, and I'll call it quits. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. May the Force be with you. And also with you.